postpartum depression tend to occur more in women who are giving birth for the first time. Every man should know that the woman needs support during the pregnancy, during delivery, and following delivery. If you can take a leave, please do. If you are not there, get someone who is capable. Taking brisk walk helps strengthen your muscles, helps you build stamina for the labor process, also helps curtail the weight of the child, so that you don't try to push out a baby that is too big for the birth canal.
About 10% of pregnant women undergo this mental disorder, and about 13% of women that have put to bed undergo this same mental disorder. That's according to the World Health Organization. Now, we are going to be asking ourselves, what really causes this postpartum depression, and how do we go about it? Welcome to the Wisdom Edge, where we press in to access profound wisdom. Today on the show, we have a very important guest in the studio. The senior registrar in the Department of Neuropsychiatry at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, Rivers State, Dr. Wodu. We've been hearing a lot about postpartum depression, and it's not really everywhere. I'm not sure a lot of women know what it really is about. Some people experience it and they just let it slide, and they think it's just normal, and it comes with childbearing and all of that. So, sir, we really want to understand, what is postpartum depression?
Okay, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the question. Postpartum depression, simply put, is depression occurring shortly after a woman has given birth.
Okay.
You know, following delivery, you have a 6 weeks period that we call the puerperium.
Okay.
That's the period during which a woman's body begins to try to readjust to what it used to be.
Okay.
Okay. It's a crucial period for both mother and child.
Okay.
But that period too can extend to up to a year following delivery, which we call the perinatal period as well. Now, postpartum depression is otherwise called puerperal depression. Yes. So it simply means depression, which is a mood disorder, okay? It's different from sadness. Sadness is normal day-to-day human experience. If things are going wonderfully well, you are happy. If something bad happens, you feel sad. But that sadness doesn't prevent you from responding to greeting or eating when you're supposed to eat, okay? Or rising from your bed when you're supposed to. All right? And you quickly bounce back just by conversations and reassurances and all that. It doesn't land you in a hospital or make you want to kill yourself. It's the nature of life. That is sadness. But when we talk of depression, we are talking about a more severe form of sadness that is present most time of the day and most days of the week, okay? Severe enough to make one to begin to consider life in a very negative aspect. The person could cry repeatedly with little or no provocation. The person may feel lack of energy to do anything. You know that there is this physical strength that comes from you. Those who go to the gym, do things, those who work physically, maybe the mason people who build houses, they build muscles here.
Yes,
so there's this other strength that comes from your thought process, your mindset. Your mind. Yes. So even if you are full of physical muscle, okay, and energy to beat people up, lift things, but the moment your mind is weak, not happy, or not made up, you lose the whole of the physical strength. A child could even come and give you a dirty slap and you can't respond because you lack motivation. Okay, that is a psychic energy. So depression, when it starts, can take away that motivation. So you find the person lying continuously in bed, even in the morning, that he or she is supposed to go to work or school. He remains in bed. And when he even forces himself to try to do something, he gets tired easily. Not because he has done much, but because the motivation that drives action and purpose has dwindled. All right. And also, another thing that spells this depression or severe depression is when you notice that there is diminishing in interest. You know, some people, like women, people like watching Z World a lot, all those things. And there's this one, Korean dramas now. You understand? A woman could spend the whole evening, watch and enjoy themselves, you know. But people who are depressed, there is something we call anhedonia. It means a reduction in level of interest or ability to enjoy things you used to enjoy before the onset of depression. Yes. So the person can tune on to Z World or tune on to any of those Korean soap operas, looking at it, but not there. The person is here, but is not there really. So he's watching what is going on, just glued to the screen, but the mind is somewhere else. And the person too could be reading a book and yet not assimilating because the mind is somewhere else. So the person is not getting enjoyment. Some of them may even stop coming to church, not because someone offended them in church, but because the joy, the joy is gone. You know, there is this scripture that says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Are you getting me?
Yes.
That's talking about
drawing
the joy of the
from
Lord, drawing motivation from your relationship with God, you know, and how you perceive it. So you have persistent low mood, sadness, that is there most time of the day, most days of the week, lingering for 2 weeks and beyond. Reduction in energy level, psychic energy, motivation.
Okay, all of this, all of this you're making mention of could pass as signs and symptoms of this
a depression. And that depression, when it occurs shortly after childbirth, within the first 6 weeks following delivery, it is called postpartum depression or puerperal depression.
Like, this is really, really educating. Sir, I don't know if there are some factors that really cause, or there are some things that cause this thing to happen. Is it bound to happen with every woman that has just put to bed, or it's just specific with some people?
Okay, now, it doesn't happen to every woman that gives birth.
Okay.
It doesn't happen. And then, in fact, it is less common compared to another thing that closely resembles is what we call puerperal blues or postpartum blues.
Or baby blues.
Yes, or baby blues. You understand? This is just temporary feelings of sadness that tend to occur in a large chunk of women, up to 80% in some cases, after they've given birth, you know, but they quickly snap out of it, you know, or within 2 weeks, it fizzles out and it doesn't go deep and doesn't become persistent like postpartum depression.
Okay.
Now, over time, there are things that have been investigated and found to be common among women who eventually develop postpartum depression. Okay? One of them, it's been noticed that postpartum depression tend to occur more in women who are giving birth for the first time.
Okay.
Okay, they are more at risk compared to other women. All right. So it also tends to occur in women who have suffered depression before.
Prior to?
Yes, prior to pregnancy.
Okay.
You know, they've suffered depression before. So chances of such a woman having depression, postpartum depression after delivering her child is high. Okay. Also, it's been found to be common too among women who are in, let's say, abusive relationship. Abusive relationship. They are relationship where they are not happy.
Their spouses.
Yes, disharmony and all that, you know. Yes. Also, it's noticed to be common among women who unintentionally got pregnant and are having a baby. You know, those baby they never planned for.
Okay.
You understand? And it just happened. So the baby is not really welcome per se.
Baby was not in the picture.
Yes, was not in the plan. You understand, especially nowadays where the economic situation is so difficult, and people who have 5 children already are struggling to get by, and then all of a sudden
a baby pops
up. It calls up a lot of questions and thinking.
It's true.
Yes. Also, too, when a mother gives birth and she's not getting enough support, like this woman already has like 3 children, each of them with less than 2 years gap between them, and now she's having another one. These other ones are young. They are mommy.
They also need the mommy attention.
Yes, and this one comes in, and then no maid. Mother-in-law did not come, or mother-in-law just came, spent a short time and left. Husband is very busy, not supportive. You understand? And she's here taking care of this child, the new one, taking care of the old ones, doing so many things at the same time. It can cause the woman to slip into depression. Okay. Another thing that can also occur is, the process of pregnancy and delivery results in lots of hormonal changes, lots of hormonal progesterone, for instance. Okay. Now, in some women, it's been found that abrupt cutoff when a woman gives birth in progesterone level, because progesterone is the hormone that sustains pregnancy and keeps the womb environment healthy for a pregnancy to remain nurtured to full maturity. Yes. At the moment the woman delivers, that hormone secretion is cut off. You understand?
Abruptly.
It's cut off abruptly. Also, to add difficult deliveries. Yes. When a woman goes through prolonged labor, even the one that requires intervention and all that, where they just have to literally snatch baby from the point of death in the womb, or rescue mother from dying in the delivery process and all that. Sometimes women give birth, they sustain tears and injuries in their private parts and all that. Some of those things now require treatments, painful, and all those things. All those things even makes the woman look at her body. She looks at her body. She no longer feels happy the way she looks. And sometimes she feels her husband may not find her attractive anymore. You understand? All these things weigh down on their mind, and it could make them slip into depression and all that. I've talked about lack of support or inadequate support following delivery. You understand? And sometimes the absence of someone one can confide in, you understand, can also make one bottle up a lot of things, and those things well up, and the person begins to dwell on those negativities and feel depressed. If you have someone you can talk to and tell them about even the negative thoughts are coming, and they console you, maybe with the word of God or with their own experiences. Problem shared, they said, this problem half solved. The person may feel, I'm not alone in this thing I'm going through now. You understand? This person went through it, came out good on the other side, So I too can come out good on this other side.
Okay, sir. In your course of work, you may have encountered different women that have undergone all of this stress and mental disorder. How instrumental can a support system be? Is any support too much for a woman that has just had a baby? Or just put us through how much support a woman needs after delivery.
Okay. Now, the amount of support a woman needs will depend on the kind of woman, because people differ. You understand? There are some women who have been giving birth without anybody
helping them.
Yes, helping them. And they've been doing just fine. You understand? There are some women who need people around them. They do better when people are around them. They need TLC. You know what TLC is? Tender loving care. You understand? In fact, there are some women who, if their husband is not in the theater or in the labor room, they will not give birth.
Their morale will be down.
Low. You understand? I myself, not that my wife compulsorily needs it, I try to be around whenever she's giving birth.
That's
I
good.
go into the delivery room and there. In fact, my first child would have suffered some problems, because she came out not crying, cord around her neck, So I had to work with the obstetrician to ensure that both mother, my wife was bleeding. I had to work with the obstetrician to ensure that the baby is okay. While I was attending to my baby, the obstetrician was attending to my wife because she was bleeding heavily. So both of us working together helped save the day. You understand? So some women may need the presence of their spouse during the labor process, and following delivery. You understand? You can hear sometimes in the hospital, you hear some women accost their husbands and say, "You were not there for me. Later you put me through the same journey again." Are you getting me? It's like betrayal. It's like betrayal. You understand?
It's just to be sending me to the labor room.
So every man should know that the woman needs support during the pregnancy. You understand? During delivery and following delivery. If you can take a leave, please do. If you are not there, get someone who is capable.
Husbands, you can hear, husbands.
Be there with your wife and for you. You understand? So that if she needs something, they get it for her. You understand? If she needs to talk, the person can talk with her. If the baby needs attention, the person comes in. Babies, when babies are born, many of them tend to have a disordered sleep pattern. When we are supposed to be sleeping in the night, the baby is awake, crying, So if the mother is left alone in such situations without support, she's going to be awake most times in the night. And if you don't sleep well, it will affect your mood. And with that, you can have so many things coming up. So the woman needs all the support she can get based on the peculiarities of the woman and what is readily available. Yes.
Okay, sir. Are there types of remedies and therapeutic this thing available for women that suffer this postpartum depression?
Why not? Why not? Postpartum depression is treatable. It's very treatable. In terms of remedy, first of all, we will always advocate prevention to begin with. First of all, the awareness. Let's begin from there. By this conversation, we are creating awareness. Women will now know, husband will now know,
that's true.
In-laws will now know there's something called postpartum depression. And that if they notice sign of it, they shouldn't say the woman is just misbehaving or seeking too much attention. Are you getting me? Or making guy. You understand? They should be empathic, and rally around her. So the awareness first of what postpartum depression is. Then for those who have had mental health issues or come from homes where there are mental health problems, they should know too that in as much as they are not manifesting symptoms of mental health conditions, that in pregnancy it might not start, or following delivery it might not start. Because the pregnancy process, the labor process, and the puerperal period, taking care of a child, is a stress, a very serious one, profound one. So it takes both genetic inheritance and environmental stress for mental illness to begin to manifest. So those who are healthy now but come from homes where they have ancestors or relatives with mental illness might begin to manifest it when put under the stress of pregnancy, labor, and of course the puerperal care of a child on themselves. So they need to know that, if you're coming from such a background, watch out. And then if you already have mental health problem like depression in the past, even before going into marriage, and becoming pregnant, you should know you should be in touch with your psychiatrist, or counselors. And you have to watch out. If you were placed on medications, please continue those medications, and discuss them with your psychiatrist, and then register in a proper hospital or maternity where a psychiatrist
is available to attend to
available
them.
If needed, they can quickly call one to come in and help, to avoid issues escalating. Because when severe depression becomes so severe, it can result in the woman attempting to take her own life, and probably with that of the child. You understand? She feels that this child may have a disease and all that it's better for this child to die. You understand? Or they die with the child. You understand? And if there have been stories of women who chopped their baby down into the toilet.
Yes. There's been several stories.
And they were looking for the baby. Where did you take baby? They said, baby has gone to be with the Lord. Baby is resting.
So there was a story of this lady that dropped the baby in, should I call it a drum of water? According to her, she heard a voice that told her to drop the baby there and be free for once.
Yes, because when depression becomes so severe, sometimes one could start hearing voices. You understand? Giving them commands, telling them things. Sometimes even abusing them, criticizing them, condemning them. You understand? This voice can take any form. It could be that of someone they know, someone they don't know. All right? It could even come as the voice of God. You understand? Or that of a devil or whatsoever. But these voices, they hear it just as you can hear me and keep talking to them. But it's not any voice from anywhere. It's actually their own thoughts coming out, taking form, and appearing to them as if it's someone else and coming from outside. So they need to be close to the psychiatrist. They need to be on their medications. And then every woman who gives birth in a reasonable place is entitled to careful observation by the health personnel to watch out for early signs of depression. And when they notice it, they quickly call the attention of the psychiatrist to see what they can do to help her not to slip into full-time depression.
Okay, sir. There are some women that just suffer in silence. Like, they go through, should I say most of them are even ashamed to speak up, especially when they come to the clinic and they see every other woman bubbly and singing during the antenatal, and they just want to feel among, let it not be as though their own problem is too much. What is your advice to those kind of women?
My advice is speak up. A closed mouth, they say, is a closed destiny.
All right.
Yes. A problem shared is problem half solved. Your case is not worse than that of everybody.
Okay, sir.
If you were to be like God and hear what people pray about in the night, you'll be amazed at the problems they have. Are you getting me? Do you know that even pastors and their wives have problems? In the course of my job, I've attended to the high, the powerful, the low, and everybody, kings, queens, pastors, non-pastors, sinners, and the righteous all around. They have problems. Are you getting me?
We all do.
Yes. It's just that when we come to church, we wear fine clothes. We
cover our
them.
issues.
Are you getting me? So speak up. And that's why I advocate that people who work in churches, pastors, pastors' wives, ushers, counselors, should possess the scientific knowledge of how to counsel and talk to people.
Yes.
Yeah. So that, because this, in fact, do you know that they tend to see more people in the early stages of mental illnesses, including depression, more than doctors do, more than psychiatrists do. So our approach now is to empower these people on some of the things we know that works. Okay. You may press it to know that the first thing you do for people who are depressed is to talk to them.
Yes.
And talk to them in a therapeutic manner, in a medicinal manner. That's what I just said.
Yes.
So when you talk to them like that, sometimes you say words, when beautifully spoken, is like apples of gold in frames of silver. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
One can say words that will turn your life
around. That's true.
Give you clarity of thoughts.
Words are powerful.
Put things in perspective.
Yes.
And you find solution to problems. So when we have when we have people who are empowered on how to talk to people in a medicinal way, you tend to notice that the early stages of depression may not progress to the severe ones.
It dies at that initial stage.
Yes. And then another thing is to know your limits.
Okay.
If you know that you have confronted someone who has signs of depression and you've tried to encourage them and it's not working, the
Seek
best thing to do
professional
is to
help.
seek professional help. Refer them. I've been privileged to have calls from pastor sometimes to say, look, so and so person have problems, so and so person have so problems. What do you advise, or what can we do? And I tell them, okay, this area is not my specialty, but this is where you find the specialist. You understand? The ones that are my specialty, I say, okay, let me see them. And I see them. I address their issues and all that. It's always good one knows their limits and know when to call for higher power.
Okay,
Very
sir.
important.
Okay, sir. Now, for expectant mothers, how can they prepare mentally and emotionally for this postpartum period?
Okay, first of all, getting pregnant. You see, it's a mindset thing. Okay, that's what I want to talk about now, mindset stuff. Pregnancy is a normal process.
Okay. By normal,
Yes,
you mean?
yes. It's a normal process. It's a physiological process. God
Okay.
made it.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay, sir.
In fact, do you know that naturally a woman should get pregnant without efforts?
Yes.
Okay. Naturally, pregnancies proceed and are carried seamlessly carried to term without issues. I'm telling you something that is supposed to be. And it is often normal. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Only few pregnancies end up complicated. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So when women begin to think of pregnancy as something to be afraid, it sets the tone for something to tilt them into depression. Little things to tilt them into depression. Okay. Do you know that a woman can actually go into labor and deliver normally, even without assistance or very minimal assistance?
Yes. There's been cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
I myself, I was given birth to by my mother in the house. And by the time my dad came with help, she was about cutting the umbilical cord
Herself.
with a razor. Are you getting me? Yes. Now, this is not to say that people should be careless. Are you getting me? Register for antenatal early enough and allow the professional supervise you so that if there are issues, they can spot them early and address them.
Okay.
So if every woman knows that pregnancy is not a disease that one should die from or one should be afraid of, that woman will have the mindset that will help him go through the period with less worries.
Oh.
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So for that, then another thing is everybody should know that one of the things that hold us together and help us wither through difficult circumstances is our belief system.
Yeah.
It's our belief system. You see, the suicide rate in the Western world is higher than it is
That's
this way.
here.
Do you know why? Over there, to a large extent, they have done away with God. They now believe in themselves and in technology. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So when technology fails or man fail you, you give up. Are you
Because
getting
they've just forgotten God.
Yes.
There's no God in their
It's not
picture
100%,
anymore.
but into a large chunk, you can't just talk about God in your workplace, talk about God in schools. You understand? It's like there is a concerted effort to push God out of the system. You understand? So when people grow up not having a support system that is greater than man and greater than technology, that they can rely on when things man cannot do or science cannot solve happens to them, they tend to slip into depression. But when people have something they hold on to that is more than them, like they believe that they were created by an all-powerful being that cares and loves them.
That mindset of that backup alone.
That backup, you understand? So when you know that, and that this person loves you unconditionally,
no matter what,
and that no matter
he
what
will
you
always
have done,
come through for
he
you.
will come through. He's working in your interest. And that when even your spouse fail, okay, or the government fails, or medical science have no solution, that this being can step in and manage the situation in your favor. Such a thing makes it less likely for you to give up.
Yeah.
Or give up completely. So one of the recommendations is hold on to something greater than you, something more powerful than you. It provides psychological support that is needed when the impossible begins to happen. You rely on that which makes impossible possible to remedy the situations.
I want to ask another question. Are there practical steps that you think one can take during pregnancy that can avert all of these postpartum depression and stuff? Are there things one can do?
A few of them include: one, talk to other women who have been through what you're about to go through. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Having a reasonable,
rapport
with women, experienced mothers and all that. Talk to them. Even your mother-in-law. Talk to them. How did it go? How is it? They will assure you. You understand and all that. And if you notice anything, you talk to them. They tell you, yes, it's normal.
Okay,
all those
sir.
things help.
Sir, do you know that sometimes they might just be giving you the bad news of...
Just change that one. Change that one.
Because
change that one.
some people get pregnant and they start hearing all of this negative news, and it just starts building these misconceptions in their minds, and before you know, they are scared of even progressing in the pregnancy.
Yes.
And even when the child comes forth, before the child comes forth, they're already scared. Hey, you sure say I go fit do maybe they'll hear stories of someone put to bed, and eventually the person's life became one kind, and they'll start getting scared.
Jesus said to his disciples, say, take heed. Take heed what you hear, because it has a way of assessing your subconscious and forcing you to think in a particular direction. So if someone is full of negative vibes, change the person. Listen to more positive things. It has its beneficial effect.
Yes.
Okay. So talking to other persons in a positive way will help. Number 2, healthy diet. Eat well.
Sir, by healthy diet, what of women that don't have money to combine all of the protein, carbohydrates, and the vitamins and the minerals, and it's just garri and white soup they can afford?
Make this soup better, or eat the garri with joy. Are you getting me? Yes. Yeah, there are people who today they are captains of industry. They eat garri morning,
afternoon, and night
with joy. Should I start naming them? Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka. Name them, all the people of
influence and affluence.
Yes, most of them ate little or nothing that we eat today, and they still came out right. You understand?
So
whatever you have, just garnish it, value it in your mind,
sir,
and you have.
In essence, it's not what we eat, but the mood with which we eat what we have.
Not that it's not what we eat. What we eat matters, but also the mood or the mindset with which we eat it. Do you know that even if we give you a full chicken, spice it up, and you're not eating it with joy, it will not avail much.
I get the point right now.
Are you getting me? It will not avail much. You might even eat it and start purging. And then exercise.
In pregnancy.
Yeah. Why not? Exercise.
Sir, I'm very interested though. Just if there are any exercises you think.
There are.
So put us through some.
Taking brisk walks.
Okay.
Yeah, taking brisk walks. One, it helps strengthen your muscles. Okay. All right. Helps you build stamina for the labor process. Okay. Also helps curtail this weight of the child, so that you don't try to push out a baby that is too big for the birth canal. Are you getting me? Also keeps the immune system up and help you fight infection in pregnancy. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And also help you reduce the amount of fat you store up, so that you don't gain so much weight
after childbirth.
Yes. Okay. So that's important too. So exercise, healthy exercise, that is good for pregnancy is also important because it also affects the mind. It lifts the mind because there are some chemicals released, endorphins, that are released during exercise. Those things are mood lifting. They are like opioids. The body has equivalents of them that are safe for us, that we can never have excess of. So when we exercise, a good amount of them are released, and they help stabilize the mood and lift it. That's why in the Western world, they do a lot of exercise. People run long distances.
People walk.
And all that.
They walk to
why?
work.
Because the way life is over there, you can easily get depressed. Once you come of age, you lose touch with family, you're almost like you're alone. Are you getting me? You cannot say today, Mama, where are you? I'm coming to your house to come and sleep. Or your mom call you and say, son, I'm moving into your house for 1 month. You first of all, it's almost like you apply and hope for approval. You don't just barge into someone's house.
No, you don't do that like you do here. Yes,
everything is with permission, with lots of negotiations and all that. So they resort to some of these things to keep themselves going and reduce their risk of depression. So exercise is important. Then, of course, the help of seeking professionals when you're going through difficult times to avoid situation where you get stuck there and then become depressed afterwards. And there are many more. This bonus, you can miss actually dancing in pregnancy. It's safe.
You've heard the doctor. So when that praise song comes up, don't sit down like you're fatigued or you're very tired. Stand up and shake your body. Whoever you are watching us right now, I don't know if you are pregnant now or you intend getting pregnant. I just want you to know that there is help for you. Just as the doctor has said, you can seek professional help. It's available. Or you can just call on our doctor now. He will attend to you. And if it's so much for him, he will refer you. Don't worry. You'd get the needed help available. So until we meet again next time, I remain your host, I will say Christine. Thank you for tuning in and do have a nice day. Bye.